Born into a place that didn't want me. A child growing on toxic words. Following orders until I had enough. Choosing to make bad decisions. Believing I had no other choice. Lies I told myself to justify my wrongs. Sent away to spend life in a box. Again, following orders. This time from little green men. Caught up in the daily, thinking, this is life. This is me doing life. Not realizing I'm only existing. Doing what I was told. As if I was a child again, forgetting I was sentenced to separation from the outside world, from life, from family, from everything, but not sentenced to an unending existence of slavery, working for pennies and sometimes for less. Like Sisyphus, I pushed that boulder. Up, up, up it went, only to roll down. Convinced I was the lucky one. Convinced I deserved this. Lies I was fed. Lies I repeated to myself. Lies I believed. Complacently brainwashed. As if I was a child again. Forgetting that I was sentenced to separation from the outside world, but not to an unending existence of slavery. Like Sisyphus, I pushed that boulder. Up, up, up it went, only to roll down, and I, naive I, pushed that boulder. Like Sisyphus, I pushed that boulder, convinced I was the lucky one, convinced I deserve this.
They'll never call it slavery. They'll never call it indentured servitude. They'll never call it what it really is. No. Instead, they'll call it punishment for a crime. They'll call it constitutional. They'll say you're getting an administrative write-up for refusing an assignment. One day, a little slip of paper got slid into your door informing you that you, yes you, are now the newest porter in the building. Congratulations! Because you have an assignment, you now have privileges that other inmates who don't work don't possess. Aren't you lucky? Effective immediately, you'll spend 127 hours each month sweeping and mopping the tiers, taking out the trash, cleaning the showers, and being cussed at because you won't pass an illegal cell phone to a cell that's directly in view of the CO station. Oh, the pay? See, what had happened was, you're new and only leads get paid, so as you move through the levels, you'll get that pay number. But maybe you got super lucky and landed a job in the education department as a clerk. Look at you, making that money. The job description is basically the same, except you get to use a computer that is a glorified typewriter and deal with teachers who act like they belong in their own classes. Except, now you'll be making a whopping 11 cents per hour. Every month you'll receive a cool $13.97 in your trust account. Somehow, even though you have this fantastic salary, you'll still be considered indigent. An inmate is indigent in California when they have less than $25.01 in their account. Yes, you have one of the higher paying jobs in prison, and yes, you're still on welfare. But hold on, you owe restitution to the Victims Fund. 50% will now be deducted to pay your fines. But don't worry, the court only imposed the $10,000 fine. It looks like, at your current pay rate, it's only going to take 119 years to pay it back. They'll never call it slavery. They'll never call it indentured servitude. They'll never call it what it really is. No, Instead, they'll call it punishment for a crime. They'll call it constitutional. They'll say you're lucky to have a job.
A Rose by Any Other Name by Devorah Major. When you think of the American institution of slavery, do you think of history, black history? Do you think of slave ships, bodies pressed together head to toe, death and misery, stories of long ago, auction blocks, flesh groped and pushed, weighed in, people renamed, chained, beaten and confined, turned from human into commodity? When you think of slavery, do you think of then? Well, then, what should we call it now? When men and women chained ankle to ankle, wrist to wrist, neck to waist, are taken to a place where they are confined in quarters, in blocks, in cells. Strike one! What do you call it when you take these sometimes chained and very confined people and give them a new name, be it Toby or B253476, be it Mammy or G714280? Strike two. What should we call it when these renamed, confined, chained humans, these sons, these fathers, these mothers, these daughters, these brothers, these sisters, are told that they will never again be free, that they will have to work for the room they are locked in, the food they eat, and for you? What should we call it when we know that the Constitution's 13th Amendment outlaws involuntary servitude, except as punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted? Strike three. What should we call it? If you ask me, it sounds too much like a different brand of slavery.